So, welcome back guys. This lecture is all about how to run a reach ad. Now, what is a reach ad? To be honest, it's very simple. This is basically an ad that reaches as many people as possible. There's no real objective behind this. This is basically an ad that puts your brand in front of as many people as physically possible. It's a way of showing your brand to your potential audience and building brand awareness. So if you're looking to set up an ad to specifically make a sale, this one isn't it. Okay, so let's say I own the fries company Walkers. I just want to promote my brand a bit and increase some brand awareness. Now, I'm not interested in selling my products in this ad, as I know people won't exactly be going onto the Walkers website to buy one packet of fries. But the reason for this ad is to make sure the next time someone goes into a supermarket and goes down the snacks aisle, they buy my product and not the fries of a competitor. This is purely for increasing brand awareness and reminding people that your brand or product exists. Okay, so now I will show you how to run a reach ad. Stay with me because it's a bit different to conversions and other ads. So let's do it. First of all, you need to click right here on create an ad. As you can see, the first option on the left, click on reach. So then you'll need to scroll down and where it says campaign name and you'll give it a name. For this reach campaign, I'm just going to call it reach campaign 1 for simplicity. And then of course we can define a budget if we want to. So the daily max budget that I'm going to spend for this ad will be $100. And again, I'm just doing this purely for simplicity. You will have your own budget that you'll need to input here. Okay, then click continue. And here we'll now move on to the next step. So first up, let's rename this ad group, and to keep it simple, I'm going to call it reach ad group number 1. On this placements tab here, I'm going to leave the comments, downloads and sharing ticked. No need to untick that. Now, right here, you can include audiences you have previously created if you wanted to. Or of course, you can manually do it for this specific ad, which is what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to define the demographics. To keep it simple again, I'm just going to include United Kingdom and Ireland. And next, I'm going to keep this as all on gender, as I want both males and females to see this ad. And then from the age demographics, I'm going to go with 18 to 54, as this is who I want to target with my Udemy courses. I'm going to go with the language English, of course, because I'm teaching in English and so only targeting an English speaking audience. Again, I'm going to leave household income for now as it doesn't affect my ad. Then you'll need to scroll down slightly to interests and behavior tab, and here we have the 3 subtabs. So I'm going to add the interest of education to all of these interest behaviors. So guys, we've already been through this in the previous lectures, so I'm not going to go through it again just to save time, but you know here you need to include all the interests and behaviors that are relevant to your product and your business. But for the sake of timekeeping, I'm not going to do this in this case. I'm just going to go ahead and use education for an example. So on this interaction tab, let's click on all of these options. This is purely because we want to target TikTok users who are really engaged. And we want these people to engage with our brand too. Either click on our profile and engage with the ad, or visit our online store. And again, I'm going to include education in this interaction box here, just as an example. And you will want to select the last 7 days box here, as this will be the most engaged audience, especially if they have interacted with education stuff within the last 7 days. Again, I would avoid clicking the last 15 days, so just keep it on 7 for now. Now click on creator interaction ad behavior, and we want to target people who tend to follow other creators and have viewed their profile. And of course, we need to select our niche, which is education. As we've already covered the hashtags in the previous lecture of ad groups, I'm going to skip this part just for the sake of timekeeping. If you do want to refer back to that lecture, guys, and need help on what to select here, then feel free to go back to that lecture. But for the sake of these ad format lectures, I will not be covering it. Okay then, so again, device settings do not matter to me, so I'm going to skip this part and let TikTok target everyone regardless of what phone they use. So next we have edit inventory tier. So this is basically where you get the choice to avoid playing your ads before or after certain videos. So as you can see here, you have 3 choices. The full inventory gives the most amount of reach, and it means you're not really that bothered if your ad gets played before or after some sensitive content. Whereas standard inventory is slightly more restricted and limited inventory is even more restricted. This means TikTok will not show your ad near these kinds of videos. Now, most of you can either go for full inventory or the standard inventory. Unless of course you are really strict about your ads, in which case you can select limited. But in my case, I'm just going to go full. Okay then, so you'll just need to scroll down a little further, and here you can select the daily budget for this ad group. So at the start, I set my budget as $100. So for this ad group in particular, I'm going to set this as a daily budget of, let's say, $10 a day. So then just below here, you can see the schedule. I'm going to run this ad continuously. So starting as of today, or whenever this ad gets okayed by TikTok, this ad will run continuously at $10 a day. So it should run for at least 10 days if my budget is $100, depending on how they spend my money. Sometimes it might be more, sometimes it might be less. Okay, so moving on, let's go down here. So this is now where creating reach ads gets nice and interesting compared to other ads. So right here you can see something called frequency cap. This is unique for reach ads. Now, what is a frequency cap? So a frequency cap is basically another way of saying how often an ad is shown to an individual TikTok user. So, for example, an individual on TikTok sees a specific ad once a week for 7 weeks. So here, a company has run a reach ad and put a frequency cap of once every 7 days. So basically, they didn't want their audience to see the ad more than once a week. You basically have the choice of how often people see your ad. So you could be like, I want my audience to see the ad once a day, or twice a day, or once every 4 days. It's completely up to you. You can either have an intense strategy where you push it ruthlessly in front of people and get as many impressions as possible, or you could be a little bit more conservative and push it in front of people less often. So now you may be wondering what kind of strategy to implement here. What I suggest is to consider this. What exactly is your goal? So if we go back to my Walker's Fries example, I may want to run an ad that my audience sees once every 2 weeks. I want this ad to be a gentle reminder that my brand of fries still exists and just to remind them how good my fries are. I don't want to be too pushy here. I just want to remind them that my fries are still around, and this would be enough to remind them to buy my fries next time they're at the shop. So having a more conservative approach where I gently prod them is best. So yeah, I think once every 2 weeks is good here. Or another example. If my company is running a huge event or releasing a brand new product and have a super big announcement, I would probably look at having my audience see the ad once or twice a week to really get my message out there and get some big exposure. So yeah, in this instance, for an upcoming event or a new product launch or a big announcement, I would want to take a more intense approach and get this ad seen more frequently. So once or twice a week would be good here. But you don't over want to do it, of course. Now, one thing to consider, the lower the frequency cap, the cheaper it will be, and the more intense the frequency cap, the more expensive it will be. But you would just need to test it out, have a play around, and find out how they perform for you personally. Okay then, so down here we have bid control. So there is now 2 different options you can choose from here. The first is bid control, where you can define how much you want to spend per 1,000 impressions. Or you can leave this blank and have it automatically select the lowest cost option, where TikTok will try and spend as little money as possible on the impressions. Now obviously I would suggest going for the lowest cost option. This helps your money go as far as possible. Okay then, so now click on next and move to the next step. So this is pretty much the same as always. It hasn't changed here. Start off by changing the ad name. So I'm just going to put reach ad number 1, then scroll down a bit. And here of course you can add your video. So you can either upload or create one. But I'm going to assume you upload one, so I won't cover any more of that. Here you can edit the video directly for this ad. So for my display name, I'm going to use TikTok ads course. And in the text box, I'm just going to add something simple like, don't know how to create TikTok ads? This course will teach you. Now, being a reach ad, you don't have to include a call to action or anything if you don't want to. You could even include something catchy or funny, as the goal is just to reach people and get some awareness. Okay, then you need to scroll down right here and tick this, legally authorized representative box. Okay, so now you're done. You can upload your video, you can click submit, and this will be sent off for approval. And that is basically a reach ad. Thanks for listening guys, and I'll see you in the next one.